welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble. Now I get asked an awful lot, where do I buy my gold and silver and which are the best dealers here in the UK? So today I'm going to tell you which ones I use the most and why. So whilst you might be in America and you might not be caring too much about which are the best dealers here in the UK, I hope you might gain some insights as to what's important to me as a buyer and stacker of gold and silver. Now, all of that said, the four major dealers that we're going to be talking about today have not a clue that I'm making this video. They have not sponsored this video. They don't sponsor me in a general ongoing sense either. There's no affiliate codes or anything like that. Just here to give a bit of impartial advice of my experiences buying from various places here in the UK. So, the first place that I will talk about briefly is the Royal Mint, because you can buy bullion from the Royal Mint, and I have done so in the past. It's not necessarily going to be the cheapest bullion that you'll ever buy, because it is drastically more expensive than buying from a dealer, which doesn't really compute and make sense in my brain, but that's just the way that it is. But sometimes there may be pricing mistakes that happen, like there was for the Bullion Britannia 2023 in a blister pack. When I bought it, they had a bit of a pricing mistake and it was really quite cheap. Certainly a lot cheaper than all the dealers, so I snapped it up and they never said anything about it. They sent me the coin. Happy days. But joking aside, sometimes I have bought directly from the Royal Mint for different coins which I can't find anywhere else on dealers. It might be a year or two out from production. The dealers don't have them. They're not going to be getting them anytime soon, and I've bought a couple that way. That said, I do not do it often, and when I do it, I expect the coins to be as perfect as they can be. And I have had one situation where the coin was pretty crap, and I sent it back to the Royal Mint and they actually did replace it. But that's not usual. They don't generally do that for bullion grade coins. So, it is possible, but it's going to be more expensive. Theoretically, you'll get a better quality coin, but it's, you know, the Royal Mint's quality is not necessarily known to be the best. So, I tend to stick to mainstream dealers, and the first two that I want to talk about, because I use them pretty much 50-50 in terms of the quantity that I'd say I actually buy through them, are Chards and Atkinson's. Now, Chards, I've met the team there up in Blackpool. They're a fantastic group of people, really lovely, and they're always pleasant to speak to on the phone. They always give nice advice. Not in a sort of financial pressure selling kind of way, but if there's a particular coin that they've got that's interesting that they think that I might like as a stacker, they know what I might like, they talk about it, it's really good, and I like that. That's fantastic from them. They've got a great selection of new and used gold as well, and generally they are one of the cheapest out there on the market. But similarly so is Atkinson's, and they have a whole plethora of new coins and also a great pre-owned section as well. Just seeing that there's this little note up here, our website is undergoing maintenance. Let's just see if it's actually working. It is still working, great. Their pre-owned section is the main place that I will buy gold from Atkinson's. I will buy the odd bit of new gold, but sometimes it's cheaper elsewhere. And, you know, it's going to price is an important thing, but, you know, making sure that you're getting the right thing is even more important, I think. So I will sometimes buy brand new from Atkinson's, but if they are perhaps, you know, a few pounds cheaper or a few pounds more expensive, for example, than somewhere like Chards, I might buy from Chards. Alternatively, you can often ring up either of these two and they pretty much will price match most other bullion dealers out there. So it's kind of down to personal preference. I tend to try and just split my purchases between the two. I think it's good not to have all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. But it's really down to each individual person. The pre-owned section, though, is, in my opinion, one of the strongest here in the United Kingdom. It's really very eclectic. There's a whole bunch of things in here. I found it very good when I was getting started buying gold and silver, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. They had all of these cool old Britannias, which still come up every now and again at great prices. You know, so from my perspective, these two are the leading dealers for me as a buyer in the UK. And most of my purchases go through there. That said, I have been buying quite a bit from Blair Bullion this year. Now, Blair Bullion's, I've met their team as well. Hey, I didn't plan this. Honestly, I didn't plan this. Look, we've got our own bars here. We've met the team there. They've worked with us and we've worked with them to produce some really cool pieces and content over the years. and I have bought from them as well. They often will have brand new releases, and sometimes their brand new releases will come out and they'll be very competitively priced. They'll want to get those people in perhaps ahead of even the big boys like Chards and Atkinson's, and it's really great to see that sometimes. Every dealer is going to be different when it comes to pricing different items, and that's absolutely fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with one dealer being £10 more expensive on one coin than another, and it's down to each individual about the relationship that you've got with each dealer, why you want to buy from a particular place or not. Maybe you're local to Chards, maybe you're local to Blyers. Either way, it really makes no difference to me. But sometimes you just want the best price, and sometimes Blyers have the best price on the different things. The only thing that I will say about the Blyers website is that it's a little bit more... we just can't ignore these, can we? There they are. Sometimes Blyers website can be a little bit difficult to navigate to the brand new stuff. With the big two websites here, Chards and Atkinson's, it's super easy to just go through to the 2023 Britannia. For here, again, 2023 Britannia, we're done. We can have a look at the different prices. Blyers, it's a little bit more difficult. You've got a search option, but I kind of like just going through here like this. If there was just one more follow through on the menu and you could click 2023 Britannia, it would be really easy. It's just the speed of it. Sometimes you really just want to buy a coin and then have a look at the different sites, and there it is. So then the pricings, pricing will be different for every site, of course. One thing that I really like about Chards' website is that they have on every product this little table here which will show you all of the different premiums for the different price points and the breaking points for the different quantities. Not that I've got the cash to go and buy £300,000 worth of Britannias, but you can see all of the different price breaks you're going to get. The only criticism I have of Chards is that they don't wrap up their postage into there. I get why they don't do that, and let me tell you, Lawrence Chard, the owner, will have many things to say on the subject over on the Silver Forum, but it's just a bit frustrating to really... I'd like an extra column here, because it's like price per item total of the same thing. Have price per item, delivery, total. Then you can see one all-in price. Because here we've got 1536.54 plus £7, so that's what, 1543. And we come over here, it's 1542.43, so we're about £1 cheaper on Atkinson's. It's just like maths hurting, not great. Atkinson just have it all rolled into that one price. So yeah, that's the only criticism of that. But then on the flip side, Atkinson's don't have that little chart telling you what the premium is and the different... They've got like a chart here telling you what the prices are, but not what the premiums are. Chards are also very hot on making sure they're one of the cheapest out there. So they do have this little chart here with price including delivery and everything, comparing with all of the different dealers out there as well. So it is... it's a bit of a cryptic knowledge of which dealers are which, but it is nice to see that they are actively comparing out there and seeing where they are. And I know Chards take it quite seriously. And as I said, either of these companies, pretty much any big company actually, will tend to price match other companies out there because brand loyalty is important to them. The last dealer that I just want to talk about quickly is Baird & Co, which is one of the main suppliers that I use for silver. It's usually one of the cheapest for silver out there, and often it will be a case of buying just huge silver in bulk for the backyard bullion pouring. I don't often do that, but it is usually the cheapest place to buy silver. You do have to factor in VAT. The cheapest place to buy silver is, though, the Silver Forum, and the vast majority of my silver purchases will come from the Silver Forum. Now, this is the trade section. It might look very different to you because you might not be a paid member of the forum, and if you are a paid member of the forum, you gain access to these trade topics 3 days before everybody else. And you can see, look, we've got bullion here at £23 an ounce. It's very cheap on the Silver Forum. Compared with the mainstream dealers, it's the best place, in my opinion, to buy. You could even, if you wanted to, buy Silver Britannias, Milky Silver Britannias. No pictures on that listing, but you get my point. There are loads of different things for sale, even gold. It's a really safe place to buy. There's loads of different people who are absolutely, clued in on how to do this on the forum, and they're really, really good sellers. The community is generally incredibly conscious of the selling side of things, and they're very active on that selling to make sure everybody's as safe as can be. So the odd time when you get these obvious, like, we've got 29 tons of gold dust from Central Africa and we're looking for buyers, it's very quickly dealt with by the moderators in the community. So really, really great, selling section here, and a lot of the coins that you'll see come up for sale are of brilliant quality and brilliant pricing as well. Look, this is 11 coins, sovereign in a beautiful box. And I think I looked at this listing the other day. It worked out 4,150. It worked out about 375, I think, for each sovereign, which for a date run with a beautiful box, fantastic. So yeah, the Silver Forum is a fantastic place, and if you've been watching my channel for long enough, you'll know that it is a great place to be. So there we go. Those are my picks for my dealers that I use here in the UK at Chards, Atkinson's, Blair's, and Baird's, and of course the Silver Forum and the Raw Mint as well. So yeah, lots of really interesting things. Some great, dealers out there that are not included in today's video, not by design. There's just too many out there really to ever use or buy from. I have bought from the odd one here and there, others. I could list a few here. I've bought by Bullion by post before. There's nothing wrong with them. ATS Bullion, Tavex Bullion I've bought, I think, very small things from in the past. There's a few, I think there's a few others I probably could name as well, but these are the ones that I mainly use and mainly check most of the time. So definitely worth checking them out if you've not heard of them before. But I'd love to know which dealers you use as well. Maybe there are some dealers that I don't use or don't know about that are even better than these guys. Who knows? What I will say is, if you are looking to buy gold and silver in the UK, or anywhere for that matter, and there's a dealer that's caught your attention because their prices are incredible, perhaps just give it a second look and a second think. Go and compare onto the main dealer sites. If something's brand new website, brand new coin, no trading history, nothing on Trustpilot, nothing on any Better Business Bureaus or anything like that, do you really want to risk, if you're buying a 1 ounce gold coin, £1,500, that might be £1 or £2 cheaper to buy it from this nobody compared with a mainstream dealer? I don't get why people do that. I know that everybody wants to buy their gold and silver at the cheapest possible price, but sometimes paying a little bit more, £5, £10 even more than some of these, will actually be a lot better and safer. Food for thought anyway. Now, as I said, I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and it'd be great to hear from you down in that comment section. A big thank you to all of my backyard bullion ramblers who are super cool. Thank you for watching this far. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you one and all for watching, and as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.